Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Indra, welcome back to the channel, and today we have 10.11 data mining to go over, and there's a decent amount of stuff to cover in this one, especially some important things, some stuff related to year 11 and new gods and stuff like that, so without further ado, let's just jump in. So in terms of new skins, of course there's all these ones, but we've covered them in previous data mining. If you're new to my data mining videos, the purple text is anything that's new that's been data mined from this current patch, 10.11, so anything else we've already seen before, but you can obviously check it out if you want to pause the video or have a look at the data mining notes themselves. But there's going to be a new free Cupid skin in a quest page of some kind in patch 10.12. A Dark Messenger and Mr. Cosmic Chest. We've definitely seen the Mr. Cosmic Chest. That's coming out this patch. It has the old one skin in it. Dark Messenger might be the same. I can't remember, actually. Moving into some Year 11 stuff, though. There's going to be a Anubis skin in a Battle Pass for Year 11. A Ephemeria skin. King Arthur and Umoja, we already knew about that. Patch 11.2 is going to be the Deity 130 release, which we have more information on coming up in a second, but there'll also be an Ares skin and a Hu Yi skin in patch 11.2. And finally for skins, we go all the way out to 11.3 here, which is kind of crazy. The third patch of next year, and Chak skin and Susano skin in that one as well. Some Year 11 mentions as well. Before we did know about, like, basically that Year 11 was coming. That's obvious, of course, but yeah, there was some mentions to, like, props and foliage and barrels and stuff for the new Year 11 Conquest map that's going to be coming. We don't know much more than this. We just know it's coming, and there'll be some pretty major changes to the Conquest map, which is what everyone expects for a new year of Smite, basically. But also, we do have a little bit more specifics that have been mined specifically from this update. There seems to be a portal which can be deployed and allows people to teleport to it, so that's kind of interesting. Could this be some kind of, like, return of rituals, maybe? The rituals from Season 4, where you could have, like, Combat Blank, Teleport to Gods, and a couple of other ones. You know, could this be something where you buy this ritual and it sets up a portal at your location and your teammates can come to it from base or something like that? I don't know. Or this could be some kind of bigger map objective, like the old Portal Demon, which created a portal that you could teleport to, essentially what is now the Pyromancer Pit. It used to be the Portal Demon. Could be something like that as well. Some kind of deployable scepter. He mentions here, you know, it could be something related to Indra's scepter that we had in Season 8 and 9. But whether it will be that, I don't think so. I don't think we'll go, like, back to Indra's scepter and bring it back after it being out of the game for a year. I imagine it's some kind of, you know, new scepter, some kind of new mechanic. A comet with AoE damage, could be some kind of fire giant attack. You know, maybe if they're going to revamp the fire giant's attack pattern a little bit in year 11, it could have some kind of AoE, like, gigantic comet that comes down, like, and maybe hits the entire fire giant pit or something like that. You know, that could be interesting. You know, if it hits the entire fire giant pit, maybe your DPS, like your range DPS, have to drop out while your melee still tanks it, and then the range DPS come back into range and keep hitting it. Could make fire giant fights a little bit more interesting. And finally, there's a bot name called Aspect of Astarios. We don't currently know if this is related to God 129 or just a new conquest enemy related to the portal. So interesting. You know, this could be some kind of world boss for the year 11 conquest map that we have to take down, and maybe it spawns some kind of portal, bit similar to Portal Demon. All this could potentially be related to God 129. And actually looking up a bit more of this here, I think this is probably related to God 129. Astraeus, I'm probably saying this wrong, is related to Astraeus, a Greek god who is associated with astrological things and stuff like that, the four winds. Definitely possible that this could be related to God 129, as we'll get into that a little bit more in a second, that could be the case. Whether it actually will be, I don't know, because we've recently had Charon, who's a Greek god. Smite is already overloaded with Greek gods, and I think the team knows that, and they probably don't want to release two Greek gods, like, so close to each other, because this God 129 that we're talking about, this is going to be coming out at the end of this season. This isn't going to be a next season god, that's 130. And we do already have a little bit of information on how this god's going to work, and actually more information that's new from this data mining that we'll cover in a second. But yeah, this definitely could be related to God 129 potentially, if they were going to go with Astraeus. You know, astrological signs makes a lot of sense for what we'll talk about in a second, but also this could just be some kind of world boss related thing. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that Astraeus is getting added. Charon Cart, at this point, I'm assuming this is just a troll put in to mess with data miners. I don't really know if this is ever going to be coming. It's been in the data mining for a long ass time and we've heard nothing about it, but, you know, maybe in year 11 they try and revamp Adventures and they bring out Charon Cart as like a beefed up, better version of Apollo's Racer Rumble. It's possible. We already knew about this from previous data mining though. Moving on to God 129 though, released in 10.13, we kind of knew this before. 10.13 this year is going to be a two-part patch, so this current patch that we're on, 10.11, is a shorter patch, it's a 3-week patch. and then we're going to have 10.12, and then I assume that's going to be a normal length patch, and then 10.13 is going to be in 2 parts towards the end of the year. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. You know, is it going to be 10.13.1 is 2 weeks, 10.13.2 is 2 weeks as well, or is it going to be 4 weeks for each? Probably not. I don't think we have enough time left in the year to be able to do that. But yeah, there's been a little bit of data mining about 10.13 being a 2-parter patch, and also is going to have a God release in there that we now know. I'll cover everything for God 129 here if you haven't seen my previous data mining videos, because we do have some stuff here that we already knew about but is relevant and we've got more information. So it's using Kepri's model as a base for development, uses Olaron materials and uses RTO materials. So a lot of people are thinking this points towards it being Nanook from the Inuit Pantheon. Using Khepri as a model for development, Nanook is a polar bear, and so Kepri's model would make sense as like a quadrupedal beast kind of thing to model him off of. Olaron, very like celestial and related to stars and constellations and things like that, which Nanook is also related to pretty heavily, you know, Northern Lights, all that kind of stuff, so that could reference him as well. And also, this is where that information from further up here ties into it a little bit. You know, this guy, Astraeus, he is seemingly related to, like, the cosmos and stuff like that, so that could potentially be related to this god release. So, you know, at the moment, could be Astraeus, but he's Greek. I feel like they want to add another Greek god, so I think Nanook is more likely at the moment, especially because it uses Kepri's model for development, whereas Astraeus, based on the limited amount I just looked at the wiki page, isn't a quadrupedal bear, and so I think it would make more sense for it to be Nanook at this point. Magical melee guardian with high defense, just standard there. It's going to be a guardian. Ability 1 is an active ability. I don't think that means anything. It has a slow, a heavy slow, and a cripple. So, slow and cripple, that's pretty scary, dude. That pretty much, like, locks you down completely. You can't jump away, you can't WSD move away. Well, you can, but, you know, it's a little bit harder. Ability 2 has an attack speed buff of some kind. This might seem weird for a Guardian, but obviously it's some kind of supportive attack speed buff like Fafnir has, for example. It's not going to be like a self attack speed stim, I don't imagine, unless like he has some very weird basic attacks. Ability 3 is going to stun, and the ultimate has some device effects called Bake and Marked, or Bake Unmarked. No more info for now. Don't really know what this could be. Kind of hard to speculate on such limited information, but, you know, maybe you can mark enemies somehow and they take additional effects or damage or something like that. But yeah, that's God 129, which is going to be releasing at the end of this year in patch 10.13. Whether it's going to be the first half or second half of 10.13, I don't really know yet. But yeah, that's going to be a God release towards the end. Probably Nanook. Potentially could be this Astraeus character that we've just seen pop up. Maybe even could be Nut. I mean, Nut is very heavily related. She's god of the sky in Egyptian mythology. She's very heavily related to a lot of this, like, star stuff that they've been mentioning, you know, like up here, like the aspect of Astraeus, he's very cosmos related. Olaron, the same. Definitely possible. Also, like, she will be a big model, I imagine. With Nut, she's often depicted as, like, straight up just being the sky. Like, she's this giant towering being that towers over the entire Earth, and it basically is the sky and the constellations. So using a large model for that would make sense. However, yeah, I think they would more so want to use, like, Cthulhu's ult model or Yom's ult model or something for that, rather than it being Khepri. That makes more sense for it being Nanook, in my opinion. But we also have another god so far. It's a pretty big data mining post. We have first mentions of deity 130, which is going to be in season 11. So yeah, as I mentioned, deity 129 end of this season, so 130 is going to kick off the next season. We basically don't have a lot of info here other than that it's going to be a hunter. So, physical hunter, high attack speed and medium area damage, that's very standard for a hunter, and also has a deployable of some kind. We've learned from a lot of data mining posts recently that has a deployable does not mean it's like a Vulcan turret or something. Deployables can be in regular abilities and stuff, so it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have some kind of Vulcan turret. But yeah, that's a little bit on deity 130. We basically know it's going to be a hunter at this point. So the next two god releases, 129 end of this season, going to be a guardian, potentially Nanook, and then 130 is going to be a hunter, which is going to kick off season 11. So that's pretty exciting. We also have season 11 god lineup here. This is probably not very accurate, but yeah, 6 gods there. We're going to end on deity 136, I guess, for season 11. But yeah, that's all I've got for you with the current data mining. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Do let me know your thoughts and speculations down below. You know, what do you think deity 129 is going to be? I'm pretty, like, I think I'm like 80% certain on the nuke at this point, and the other 20% is like either Nut or this Astraeus character. And yeah, maybe Indra's Scepter coming back, you know, revamped Fire Giant, some kind of new boss objective maybe that triggers portals in Conquest. Should be very interesting. So excited to see more about this, you know, in future data mining and future update notes and all that kind of stuff. And I will catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.